Basketball is a team sport, and team success is largely determined by how good the whole team of players are and how well they are coached. But each team has that one player who shines a little brighter than the rest. Welcome to Be Both Threads. Today we are ranking the best NBA player from each team. Coming in at last are the Spurs, and their best player is Keldon Johnson. Yes, I know. What about Wemby? Well, we aren't going to count rookies because they haven't played a game yet, but it's possible Wemby could be the Spurs' best player after next season. Keldon has improved every year and put up stats of 22, 5, and 3 last season. Solid stats that probably shouldn't be last, but he does play for the worst team in the league after all. The Wizards land at 29 with their best player being Jordan Poole. This offseason, the Wizards seem to be all in on tanking with no standouts on the roster. Poole has all the freedom to chuck up 30 shots a game knowing they have no chance of cracking a playoff spot. Last season, Poole averaged 23 and 5 as a third or fourth option on the Warriors, which means he could be averaging around 30 points this season as the main option. At 28 are the Pistons, and their best player is Cade Cunningham. I'm a firm believer that with a better and more experienced roster, Cade and the Pistons can sneak into a play-in spot this season. Although only playing 12 games, Cade averaged 26 and 6 last season. With a better roster around him this season, you can be sure he'll be a triple-double threat every single night. At 27 are the Rockets, with their best player being Jalen Green. I know all the memes about how the Rockets play like an AAU team and how Jalen Green plays only for show and not to win, but he's still a really good player. Jalen averaged 22, 4, and 4 last season, and if he can be more efficient, he could definitely rise on this list. I do have to say I was very tempted to put Alperen Sengun here instead, as the man literally plays like a baby Jokic. At 26 are the Magic, and their best player is either Paolo Banchero or Franz Wagner. It's hard to choose between who, but they both be ranked in the same spot regardless. Wagner in his second season averaged 19, 4, and 4 in good efficiency, while Banchero averaged 27 and 4 and took home Rookie of the Year in the process. Look for these two players to be the face of a Magic team making playoff runs in a few seasons. At 25 are the Hornets, and their best player is LaMelo Ball. LaMelo is another one of those players who people criticize for playing for flash and not to win, but I don't think that's true. The Hornets just haven't been able to put a competent team around LaMelo. Although being hurt only playing 36 games, he still averaged 23, 6, and 8, pretty good for a 22-year-old point guard. If his teammates could stop beating women and getting high, maybe they'd win more games. At 24 are the Jazz, with their best player being Lauri Markkanen. Lauri had a breakout year, becoming a first-time All-Star and winning Most Improved Player. You may think that Lauri should be higher, but there's too much talent on this list to rank him any higher. If he can continue this production next season, he'd definitely move a few spots up. At 23 are the Nets, with their best player being Mikal Bridges. Although he averaged 20 points on the season, he makes this list because of his production after being traded to the Nets for KD. In 27 games for the Nets, Bridges averaged 26, 5, and 3 on really good shooting splits. Mikal is also one of the league's premier perimeter defenders and is always able to play, having only missed 19 games so far in his 5-year career. At 22 are the Pacers, and their best player is Tyrese Haliburton. The Kings made a huge mistake trading Hallie to Indiana, and he's quickly become one of the best passers in the league. Last season for the Pacers, Tyrese averaged 21, 4, and 10 on super efficient scoring. Besides James Harden, Tyrese averaged more assists than any player in the NBA. At 21 are the Raptors, and their best player is Pascal Siakam. Although Pascal puts up good averages, the Raptors haven't been able to be a contender as him as their first option, although having a really solid team. The Raptors are stuck in mediocrity, so Siakam may be on the move. Last season, he averaged 24, 8, and 6. At 20 are the Bulls, with their best player being DeMar DeRozan. DeMar has been a premier scorer in the league for a while, but he's not getting any younger. The Bulls have been pretty bad ever since Lonzo got injured, and DeMar's averages have dropped compared to the 21-22 season. Last season, DeMar averaged 24, 5, and 5. At 19 are the Wolves, and their best player is Anthony Edwards. Edwards has emerged as one of the best young players in the league, and people are calling him Jordan's son for a reason. Edwards had a great season, averaging 25, 6, and 4. Expect another jump from Ant-Man, as he has solidified himself as the alpha over cat. Get it? Cause like wolves and alpha. At 18 are the Knicks, and their best player is Jalen Brunson. The Mavs letting Brunson walk to the Knicks was a terrible mistake, as he's had a breakout season. Brunson averaged 24, 4, and 6 for the Knicks, splitting lead scoring duties with Julius Randle. But while Randle dwindled in the playoffs, Brunson rose to the occasion, increasing his averages to 28, 5, and 6. At 17 are the Kings, and their best player is De'Aaron Fox. For the past 3 seasons, Fox has been one of the best point guards in the league, and nobody has talked about it. But with the Kings finally making the playoffs and becoming the 3rd seed, Fox is finally getting the recognition he deserves. He averaged 25, 4, and 6 while being the clutchest player in the NBA this season. At 16 are the Hawks, with their best player being Trae Young. Trae has been one of the best passers in the league and can give you 30 on any night, but his step back in efficiency and lack of team success stop him from moving any higher on the list. Last season, Trae averaged 26, 3, and 10 on 43, 33, 89 shooting splits. Not great for being known as quote-unquote a good shooter. The Pelicans are 15, with their best player being Zion Williamson. Zion was hard to put on this list because when he's healthy, the Pelicans were the best team in the West and he was playing like a top 10 player, but he's just never healthy. If we get a semi-healthy season for Zion, he could definitely move up the list. In 29 games, Zion averaged 26, 7, and 5 on a crazy 61% shooting. The Grizzlies land at 14, with their best player being Ja Morant. When not flashing guns on Instagram Live, Ja is one of the best and most entertaining players in the league. He puts up good averages and is the superstar leader on the really good Grizzlies squad. Last season, Ja put up averages of 26, 6, and 8. At 13 are the Cavs, with their best player being Donovan Mitchell. Spider is one of the best guards in the league as he can jump out the gym and shoot the ball. His first season in Cleveland was a success as they made the playoffs and he made All-NBA second team, averaging 28, 4, and 4. In order to move up the rankings, Donovan and the Cavs need to not underperform in the playoffs next season. At 12 are the Clippers, and their best player is Kawhi Leonard. Although one of the best players in the league, Kawhi has the same case as Zion. He's just always injured or resting. This season was also one of Kawhi's worst since 2017. He averaged 24, 7, and 4. Despite the down year, there's not many players you take on your team over a fully healthy Kawhi Leonard. At 11 are the Thunder, and their best player is SGA. Shea had a breakout season for the Thunder, emerging as one of the best scorers in the league, averaging an absurd 31, 5, and 6. It's scary to think he's playing this well at only 25 years old. The Thunder have a ton of young talent and draft picks, so you know they're going to be a huge problem in 2 to 3 seasons. At 10 are the Blazers, and their best player is Damian Lillard, but maybe not for long. Although the Blazers were pretty bad this season, it's important to remember Dame is the best point guard in the league, not named Stephen Curry or Luka Doncic. This season was Dame's best scoring season yet, averaging 32, 5, and 7, and he might be doing this soon from South Beach instead. At number 9 are the Heat, and Jimmy Butler is their best player. Playoff Jimmy is probably a top 5 player in the league, but he just doesn't play at that level in the regular season. In the regular season, Jimmy doesn't even play well enough to make All-Star teams. This season, he averaged 22, 6, and 5, but if he wants to move up, he needs to increase regular season production. At 8 are the Lakers, and their best player is still LeBron James. I was debating putting AD here, but he's just been too inconsistent to be their best player. Even at grandpa status in the NBA, LeBron is still one of the best in the league, and he probably would rank higher if he played more games last season. In 55 games, LeBron averaged 29, 8, and 7, truly inspirational for my scrumptious king. At 7 are the Celtics, and their best player is Jason Tatum. I was debating putting LeBron over Tatum, but decided not as Tatum is younger and played more games than LeBron. Tatum is an elite scorer and has been the leader of one of the best teams in the league for a while now. Last season, Tatum averaged 30, 9, and 5 while making All-NBA first team. At 6 are the Mavs, and their best player is obviously Luka Doncic. Luka has been putting up 2K type of numbers for the past few seasons now and continued to do so last season. Although the Mavericks didn't make the playoffs, Luka put up crazy averages of 32, 9, and 8 while making All-NBA first team. Expect Kyrie and Luka to play better together and make a deep playoff run next year. At 5 are the Suns, and their best player is still Kevin Durant. Even at almost 35 years old, KD is still one of the most dangerous and efficient scorers in the league. KD still edges out Booker for the Suns' best player, and the averages prove that. Although being injured for most of the season, Durant averaged 29, 7, and 5, joining the 50-40-90 club for the second time. At 4 are the 76ers, and their best player is Joel Embiid. Although winning the MVP usually puts you first, it wasn't an easy race as many people thought Jokic or even Giannis should have won it. Embiid's disappearing act in the playoffs definitely didn't help his case. Nonetheless, he's the second best center in the league and averaged 33, 10, and 4, winning an MVP and second scoring title in a row. At 3 is Stephen Curry from the Warriors. Even at 35, Curry is still the best shooter and point guard in the league. A season ago, Curry led the Warriors to another championship and came up short this year because Jordan Poole and Klay Thompson became bricklayers in the playoffs. This season, Curry averaged 29, 6, and 6, narrowly missing the 50-40-90 club. At number 2 is Giannis Antetokounmpo from the Milwaukee Bucks. Some people believe Giannis is the best player in the league right now, but until proven otherwise, the player at number 1 will remain there in my opinion. Giannis is one of the best offensive and defensive players in the league, averaging 31, 12, and 6 while leading the Bucks to a first seed and a stepping stone season as he puts it. And everyone knows who's number 1, the Denver Nuggets and Nikola Jokic. Until proven otherwise, I will have the Nuggets as favorites to repeat and Jokic as the best player in the world. In the regular season, he averaged 25, 12, and 9.8, nearly a triple-double as a center, but it's because of his insane championship run where he averaged 13, 14, and 9.5 that truly set him apart from the rest. Well, that's the list. The NBA season is almost here and we will be ranking the top teams in each conference in upcoming videos. Let us know what you think about our list and how you would rearrange it to your preference. If you like this type of content, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and help us get to 500 subscribers. Also follow us on Instagram and TikTok for more great content. Thank you.